Bosnia, and what will make you understand Bosnia. This is a land of rolling hills, of towns nestled in the valleys, of beautiful rivers of emerald green, of simple but delicious food, of Ottoman mosques that have stood for 400 years, of magical towns that hark of Tolkien, of daredevils who leap from the Mostar bridge into the icy cold waters of the Neretva river. But look a little deeper, and there is also sadness in the land. Buildings pockmarked with bullet holes, graves memorializing where people have fallen, and a spot where the actions of an assassin triggered the First World War, and a town where the shadow of genocide haunts the Bosniak people. Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, was officially founded by the Ottomans in 1461, just 8 years after they had taken Constantinople. From high up at the Yellow Fortress, one can take in a splendid view of the city, which started to come alive as our charming and well-informed tour guide narrated the story of this beautiful and historic town. The Gazi Husrev Beg Mosque, located in the heart of the old city, is the focal point of Sarajevo. It was built in 1530 and remains an active mosque to this day. It features a unique clock tower decorated with Arabic numerals that is manually adjusted daily so that the hands strike 12 not at noon but at sunset, when the faithful are called to prayer. The Ottoman Empire was a huge Islamic empire that spanned right across the Middle East from the 14th century until its collapse in 1922 after being defeated in the First World War. A war that had been triggered in this very town 8 years earlier in 1914, when Bosnian Serb nationalist Gavrilo Princip shot and killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as he passed by the Latin Bridge in his motorcade. The Austro-Hungarian Empire had been a major European power in the years prior to World War I, occupying much of Central Europe. Looking out at the panoramic view from the Park Princeva restaurant, we noticed a cable car rising up the hillside. The destination of this ride was Trebavica Mountain, from where we witnessed a beautiful sunset, Bosnian pine trees, and a reminder of Bosnia's war-torn history. This ghostly abandoned bobsleigh track was built for the Sarajevo 1984 Winter Olympics, but fell into disuse during the 4-year-long siege of Sarajevo, when Bosnian Serb forces commandeered it and shelled the city and its people below. Heading south from Sarajevo towards Mostar, one encounters the Neretva River. It flows like a ribbon of jade through Bosnia and Herzegovina. The water is spellbinding, not just in its color, but in how it moves, wild through canyons, calm through cities, always onwards, as if chasing some forgotten dream. Legend has it that long ago a handsome young man with yellow hair and eyebrows appeared on Elijah's Day in Mostar. It was not known where he came from or what his name was. He walked around Mostar, visiting shops, talking to people, and captivating them with his politeness, kindness, and wisdom. The townspeople did not notice When tired and overheated from the unbearable Mostar heat, he went down to the riverbank, laid down his clothes, and jumped into the blue-green waters of the river. He never appeared again. Days later, swimmers searched the Neretva for his body in the eddies and the caves along the riverbank, but in vain. The stranger disappeared as he had come. The only trace of his existence was his clothes, carefully stacked on the rock. No one touched them. They avoided it, feeling the fingers of some incomprehensible higher power at play. For several days it was recounted in taverns, houses, and on the streets that Zuti, the Yellow One, had drowned, and as time passed, so did the people's memory of him fade away. Then suddenly, one autumn day, Zuti appeared on the streets of the city. People cowered before him in fear. He wandered aimlessly and silently. The bravest approached him, asking him what had happened to him, but they were met with empty eyes. Strangely, he was dressed in the very same clothes that he had placed in the rock all that time ago. He wandered the streets by day and hid in the caves along the river by night. A few more years passed, and then one day he headed somewhere north along the river, and no one ever saw him again. To this day, the inhabitants of Mostar avoid swimming on August the 2nd, Elijah's Day. It is time for a break. The 40-degree heat of Mostar is taking its toll, and as one wanders around the town, the delectable flavors of ice cream tempt at every corner. I succumb to a banana split. The Karados Bey Mosque is the central mosque of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Commissioned in 1557 during the heyday of Ottoman Mostar by Mehmed Karados, a major benefactor of the towns and its surroundings. It is said its striking design was influenced by none other than Mimar Sinan himself, the celebrated chief imperial architect of Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Behind the tranquil mosque, in the warm embrace of a host of evergreen trees, lies a centuries-old cemetery where slender, time-worn headstones of pale limestone rise like sentinels from the earth. Perhaps it is their destiny that they will stand guard for centuries more to come. It is time for food. A dish you must not miss and cannot possibly miss in Bosnia is cevapi. It is a staple of Bosnian diet made up of delicious small kebabs served with juicy soft bread, tomatoes, and onions. As I make my way to a secret eatery, I pass by an artisanal workshop where the centuries-old heritage of coppersmithing in Mostar is being shared with euro-wielding tourists. The smell of Shavapi is in the air as I pass by the open-air pool where one can cool off in the 40-degree heat and drift off into an unending siesta. This is Mostar, a slow inhale of warm Balkan air, the echo of history, and the shimmer of light of stone and water. My destination is now just around the corner. It is a small patio that overlooks the river and is off the beaten path, tucked away in this small, secretive eatery. Behold the Shavapi. It is as delicious as it looks, simply served with tomatoes and onions. Following the meal, I treat myself to a Bosnian coffee, creamy, full of flavor, and heartwarming. The afternoon quietude is not over yet, though. Shisha, nargile, hubbly bubbly, hookah, or more simply the water pipe, was ingrained in Ottoman society for centuries and spread throughout its dominion. Its preparation involves heating coals and placing them above a crucible that contains the flavor, the vapor of which is drawn down the pipe and through a water trap. And so this is Bosnia. It isn't just a place you visit, it is a story you feel, a landscape that speaks of resilience and beauty, and a memory that you carry with you forever.